future of mobility. And now we welcome our host for this morning, Mika Pineda.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hi, I'm Mika Pineda, your host for this morning. And I'm just so excited to welcome all of you as we move into the future of mobility. And today we celebrate our united purpose in uplifting the lives of Filipinos and creating a truly sustainable future, led of course by the Globe Group's 917 Ventures and Ayala Corporation as we bring the global leader in smart electric two-wheel vehicles and battery swapping, Gogoro, to the Philippines. And as we dive into this exciting future ahead, I'd like to welcome, of course, our special guests. We welcome Ayala Corporation Chairman, Mr. Jaime Augusto Zobel de Ayala, Globe Group President and CEO, Mr. Ernest Wu, Director of Globe Capital Venture Holdings Incorporated, Mr. Bernie Yamson, and Gogoro founder and CEO, Mr. Horace Wu. 917 Ventures Managing Director, Mr. Vince Yamat, and Director Patrick Aquino from the Department of Energy. And of course, our friends from the media who are here with us today, and our Globe and our colleagues from 917 Ventures, Ayala Corporation, and Gogoro watching here live via our live stream. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you are ready to get to know more about this wonderful technology. And now, we also had the video earlier, and I'm sure we're just so excited to
news for you today that will ensure gas prices, pollution, all these pain points that Filipinos face each day actually affects the quality of life. Today, we are launching this game-changing initiative to build our sustainable transport system with an ecosystem of smart electric vehicles and battery swap stations. Together, the Globe Group's 917 Ventures and Ayala Corporation will invest in climate and sustainability tech by partnering with Gogoro to bring the future of mobility closer to reality. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bernie Yanson. Truly a game changer that is exciting for everybody here. And it is really so inspiring to see how the Globe Group, through 917 Ventures together with Ayala Corporation, is continuing to push for transformation by helping address the climate crisis through sustainable technology to help give Filipinos like us a better quality of life. And as Bernie said, this is the time to revolutionize mobility for Filipinos. So to tell us more, we will be joined by the man who founded Gogoro in 2011, developing a smart scooter along with a smart energy grid that allows riders in Taipei to swap out batteries anytime that it starts running low. And in April 2022, Gogoro became the first unicorn startup in Taiwan to be listed in the United States. And it was also the first time a Taiwan firm made it to NASDAQ in 16 years. So he has overseen product development and corporate strategy in the company from the very start, and we're excited to welcome on stage and introduce to you the founder and CEO of Gogoro, Mr. Horace Luke.
What can you do with a little energy? On its own, only so much. But when it meets creativity, ingenuity, purpose, and takes shape into new ideas, quicker than you think, it'll never happen becomes, what are we waiting for? Every decade we leap, and suddenly, what connects us, what powers our day, what drives us forward, what seemed impossible, we can't imagine living without. Weird becomes wow. Next becomes now. Better always finds a way. We're Gogoro. We're making life on the go smarter by making fuel friendlier, riding more fun, cities more connected. Swap after swap, we're changing energy for good.
Thank you, everyone, for having me here. I'm so excited to be in the Philippines. You know, I was just trading notes with, Ernest over there. I was like, what year, what day did we actually meet each other? It was amazing. It's September 23rd, 2015 is when Ernest and his friends first came to Taiwan. That was slightly about 6 months after we launched our first vehicle. And Ernest said, you gotta come to the Philippines. Your idea and what Globe is trying to do and what Ayala is trying to do is dovetailing with each other very well. I gotta say, outside of our preference in hairstyle, we actually have a lot in common between Gogoro and Globe and Ayala Group. We started the company wanting to make cities smarter, cleaner, and safer. I think that, as Jaime also was whispering to my ear, that is the fundamental thing that we need to do for our future generation. Innovators, business leaders, and marketers like ourselves, and people that create product and services really need to think about how our future generation can live in cities that are going to be much better for them. Through, of course, in my background doing smartphone through digitization and electrification of cities. Nobody does digitization better than Globe today at 917 Venture. Of all the partners I've seen around the world, the amazing things and changing lifestyle that Globe has been able to bring to the public is something that we admire and something we think we find a lot of synergy in. If a lot of people ask us, you see the pictures of Gogoro, if you search on Gogoro's internet, you see vehicles, you see swapping battery, but fundamentally here, I want to deliver a message to everyone. What Gogoro is about using technology to create sustainable solutions. Anything that uses technology to make our cities better for tomorrow is something that we focus on and we work on. Since we actually last talked, right, in our first met, over 11 million two-wheelers has been placed on the soil over 1,000 islands in the Philippines. And the sales has been doubling year on year, every year. But unfortunately, those sales in vehicle and the penetration of vehicle is phenomenally skewed to ICE and gasoline vehicle, with only less than 1% of vehicle on the road today being electric. Every time I think about gas vehicle, I think about 10 or more years of pollution. Every vehicle that we actually put on the ground as gasoline vehicle continue to generate pollution year on year more for the next 10 or more years, with some vehicles going as long as 20 years. The sooner we can do something about it, the sooner we're going to make the world a better place. But the fundamental challenge we have is, how do we make, people talk about electric, but the biggest barrier to electric has always been in infrastructure. Look at this parking lot in the Philippines. This is how you park. Can you imagine trying to actually put charging pole and try to organize this parking situation? It's an impossible task. That fundamentally is a thesis where we started. We wanted to create a better, more superior way, and more easy, safer way for consumers to actually swap batteries and refuel their vehicle. That's why we came up with Swap and Go. In just 6 seconds, when you depleted batteries after over 100 kilometer of riding range, you go actually stop by one of our stations, put it in, and within 6 seconds, a fully charged battery is popped out, making refueling actually even faster and more convenient than going to a gas station. With that thesis, our success in Taiwan has enabled us to bring this technology and bring our solution to partner with the Ayala Group, 917 Venture and Globe, to bring our solution to the Philippines. Today in Taiwan, we have over 2,200 locations, almost 2,300 locations, and over 1 million batteries now fully deployed, with over 2 gigawatt-hour of batteries in the hands of our customers. Stations like this can actually service more than what a gas station can service on a normal operating hour. A station like this, with a 6-second swap and go, can service thousands of consumers. Not only are our stations servicing for mobility, but just last week, we announced actually over 2,500 locations by the end of this year, over 1,500 locations all across Taiwan, to now be able to do what we call virtual power planting. So mobility, of course, is a very important part of an energy grid solution, but also at the same time, how do we help the Department of Energy? How do we help as cities grow bigger? How do we enable the reserve power that we have in the station to actually work better with the grid? In Taiwan scenario, the grid actually required more power 30 times a day for about 1 minute to 2 minutes each time. Then they don't need to build extra capacity. That is one of the side benefits of actually building such a network. Our batteries can also service other things to enable smart city. So by the end of this year, we'll also be actually enabling a lot of street corners to now back up power for the traffic light, making it safer for the city as cities experience brownout or blackouts, stabilizing for safer, more smarter, more connected cities. We also use our battery pack to actually enable smart city to happen, making smart parking to happen through swappable batteries. And I'm really excited to announce the first ever Go Station to be live right outside this building starting today. And I have to thank the teams, for the Globe team and also the Gogoro team working together to bring that to reality today. Now we got a great way to actually overcome the infrastructure challenge. Being able to swap instead of charging. No wait time. The next challenge we have was to really create and use technology to create a safer, a smarter, an easier way to use and a funner solution than when compared to a gas vehicle. We need to simply make it irresistible to go electric. That's what we've been focusing on a lot inside Gogoro, to create great product and great user experience so that we can actually convince a consumer to give up the legacy usage of a gas vehicle or commuting by gas and going toward an electric solution and a digital solution. We focus a lot on product design, enabling great superior performance while also having great safety features. Today, in Gogoro, our portfolio is very broad. We have something for the sport enthusiast. We have something for people that want to carry their family from point A to point B. We have something for very convenient and easy to use, lightweight usage. We even have a vehicle that's designed by our entire women team for the women market. Really thinking through, there you go, women team, women's street. I wasn't allowed to actually join that team. So I feel very jealous knowing that these guys actually create one of the best-selling vehicles in the Gogoro portfolio. Women really said to us, the female team said to us, two-wheeler has been so male-centric for years. Let us take a crack at it. And they did. They created one of the best vehicles in our portfolio. Now, that said, I talked a lot about digitization. Digitization does not just enable smart features to happen on the vehicle, but also can enable a lot of safety features as people think about adopting two-wheelers as a mode of transportation versus using the public transportation or using a gas two-wheeler or actually using a car. Gotta give you a couple quick examples. The fact that our vehicle has traction control, all done without computer units that's on our vehicle, being able to actually know whether or not it's raining outside or not raining outside through the connectivity through the Globe SIM card says, hey, this vehicle right now is in a rainy spot. The vehicle changes and adjusts to the performance so that the consumer can be safer when it rides. Yet another great example of that. And then last but not least, one of the features I love the most, and that does not come with even the most expensive two-wheeler, after you make a turn, just turn off the signal because it knows from a GPS location that it has actually made a right turn or a left turn. Smart features that actually enable a wealth portfolio full of safety features that we can offer to consumers. We were the first to actually let a vehicle be securely actually locked via your Touch ID, Face ID, or other safety features come with a lot of different Android phones and other phones. We have an ability to take a lot of those smart device features and actually put it on the vehicle. Since 2015, this is one of the biggest, hottest topic that Ernest said to me. He said, you got to make sure your security system is good. The Philippines has 1,000 islands. We love the Filipino, but 1,000 islands is a lot of places to track down the vehicle if something doesn't work or somebody runs away with somebody else's vehicle. I'm happy to be here to tell everybody, actually since 2015, we're near zero theft. Because when you subscribe to the Gogoro network, when somebody steals your key off your desk and ride up with the vehicle, All you have to do is report that theft, and the entire network will look for that battery and then lock that battery so that the thief, when they swap a battery, the vehicle is stuck. No power, so the vehicle can't go anywhere. And then we recover our battery also at the same time. Great technology solutions for a growing cities for tomorrow. Of course, everybody knows electric. When they buy an electric four-wheeler, the first thing they do is like, wow, that throttle feels great. Same thing with a Gogoro. Because of electric immediate power, we're able to deliver a thrilling experience to the consumer, right? Being able to actually outperform a gas vehicle in every way, from technology to performance to CO2 emission to just overall rideability of the vehicle. Our battery swapping with 2 batteries, which power some of our vehicles today, can go over 170 kilometers in range. Now, it all depends on how fast you ride and how much you load up, but we're seeing consumers riding over 100 kilometers consistently through the battery swapping solution. Because of all these great technology, when we first started in 2015, when we launched the first vehicle, Taiwan was very similar to where we are today in the Philippines. Less than 1% of all vehicles sold in Taiwan at that time was electric. A lot of people told me this is an impossible market to crack, to actually convert a gas vehicle user to come to electric. I'm happy to report that as we grow in the Taiwan market, we went to mid-teens when it comes to market share. 18% in metropolitan areas, and even in Taipei, where the capital of Taiwan, we actually at one point hit 26% market share. 1 out of 4 vehicles sold was electric, all because of the battery swapping solution. Today in Taiwan, the overall market share for an electric vehicle out of that 18%, 90% is Gogoro and Gogoro's partners. We work with partner vehicles, also like Yamaha, like Suzuki Taiwan, and other vehicle makers, and together combined, we have greater than 90% market share, proving that battery solution, or battery swapping solution, was the game changer and will be the game changer as we move into the future. Today, we have slightly over 500,000 riders riding our network. And through that, we've learned a lot. We've brought a lot of robust technology together. We've proven it out. And I'm very excited today that we're bringing to the Philippines the first ever Gogoro vehicle, one of our most popular models, the Gogoro Premium, so that we can actually start our pilot program as we plan our commercialization for the later part of this year.
You've got me saying words in my head, filling my mind with these energies. You're calling my phone, I'm being but I'm alone. You're calling low, when you're calling,
Thank you very much for having me here. I look forward to the day that we all of us can enjoy the Gogoro and the battery swapping, and we can change the lives of Filipinos, change the landscape of the cities we have, and make the Philippines a greater, cleaner, smarter, safer country as we move forward into the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Horace Luke. Wow, truly, truly impressive. I might just say like, wow. I was watching and all I could say was really, wow. This is something that will truly make a positive impact on the lives of Filipinos. So thank you very much. But now you may be wondering, who are the lucky ones who will get first dibs on these smart scooters? So to tell us more about the Gogoro pilot and to whet our appetite on what's to come, here's 917 Ventures Managing Director, Mr. Vince Yaman.
Good morning, everyone. Here at 917 Ventures, we are constantly on the lookout for spaces where we can build innovation that will save the lives of the Filipino people. We champion financial inclusion through GCash. We have been able to democratize healthcare through Consulta MD. We develop AdTech, data, B2B SaaS solutions through Brave Connective and Rush. Lastly, our edutech companies, Adventure and Gogoro, provides quality education to the underserved. Ultimately, uplifting the lives of the Filipino people is at the heart of what we do. We focus on their problems and we innovate for them. But beyond that, we recognize the challenges we all face with traffic congestion and access to reliable transportation. We believe that Filipinos should be given sustainable and eco-friendly way to move freely. And today, we will solve that one with our partnership with Gogoro. With Gogoro Smart Scooter battery swapping technology, we are revolutionizing the future of mobility. We're not only providing Filipinos with transport options, but we are also providing them a cost-effective and sustainable transportation solution. In line with this, we are launching the Globe Employee Pilot Program. We want Filipinos to have the best experience when we publicly launch Gogoro Philippines in Q4 of this year. And we are going to test it first with our own people in the Globe Group. The Globe Employee Pilot Program is an exclusive group of Gogoro's first movers in the Philippines from 70 volunteer employees. One of the first riders is here to represent the group, Arnel Corliss. So Arnel Corliss is the president of Globe's Motorcycle Club, Moto 917. I didn't even know that we have a Moto 917. And then they will be given 2 months to test for free our Gogoro Smart Scooter before our public launch. The program starts this May, and I can't wait for our riders to experience zipping around Metro Manila without worrying about fuel consumption, traffic, and carbon emission. We look forward to having our volunteer riders on board and for us to learn more about their Gogoro experience. Ultimately, the pilot test will allow us to enhance the product for the market. Again, we are excited to transform the way we move around the Philippines with our Gogoro Smart Scooters. Salamat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vince Yamat. I'm sure our Globe must be very excited. And now, with everything that we have heard so far, our audience is more than ready to get a glimpse of this new technology. To help us officially introduce you to the future of mobility, we'd like to invite on stage Ayala Corporation Chairman Jaime Augusto Zobel de Ayala. Globe Group President and CEO, Mr. Ernest Hu. CEO of Gogoro founder, Mr. Horace Luke. Director of Globe Capital Venture Holdings Incorporated, Mr. Bernie Liamzon. And 917 Ventures Managing Director, Mr. Vince Yamat. Now, of course, let's have a photo op of this milestone. Through the collaboration of the Globe Group, 917 Ventures, and Ayala Corporation, we bring you the future of mobility. Let us officially welcome to the Philippines global leader in smart electric two-wheel vehicles and battery swapping, Gogoro!
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the future of mobility, the Gogoro Smart Scooter and Go Station.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Moving into the future of mobility is possible with Gogoro. Now we'd like to request our dear leaders to proceed in front of our Gogoro Smart Scooter and Go Station for a photo op. Everybody, how does it feel to be witnessing history unfold before our very eyes? Amazing, right? Yes, yes. Indeed, thank you very much. Imagine all the possibilities with Gogoro now here in the Philippines. The possibilities are endless. So thank you to our leaders really for doing this, and thank you very much. You may now proceed back to your seats. So 917 Venture, the Globe Group, and Ayala Corporation are committed to helping address the climate crisis by introducing Gogoro first among Globe employees. And through the employee pilot program, Gogoro's first batch of users in the Philippines will get to share useful insights on rider experience in preparation for the commercial launch later this year. So by enhancing mobility through sustainable solutions, we are also committed to supporting the Department of Energy's thrust to transition towards cleaner technologies and to share future plans on how this initiative aligns with the government's development agenda for both digitalization and climate action. We'd like to welcome on stage a very special guest this morning. He is currently the director of the Energy Utilization Management Bureau under the Philippine Department of Energy, and a career executive service officer rank 3. He rose from the ranks and has served in various capacities in the DOE from the Office of the Secretary, Information Technology Management Services, and Energy Policy and Planning Bureau. So recognizing the need for sustainable energy consumption, he is aggressively implementing the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Act, also the Electric Vehicle Industry Development Act, and with the support of the DOE. So everybody put your hands together as we welcome Director Patrick T. Aquino.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Philippine Department of Energy, Secretary Popo Lutilla, who is unable to join us today, as he is also pursuing a trip on energy transition and sustainability in Europe as of the moment. Allow me to do a quick presentation on the things with respect to the comprehensive roadmap for the electric vehicle industry. You've been hearing a lot of buzzwords the entire morning. The future of mobility is electric. This is something that the DOE is also gravitating towards. But more importantly, the goal of our comprehensive roadmap for the electric vehicle industry is similar to the advocacy of the Ayala Group, to Gogoro, to 917 Ventures, that we transition into something better than where we are right now. Our goal is to, well, electrify a diverse set of the transport sector, wherein the necessary infrastructures as well as the sound investments are being made. And with this, Gogoro and this project launch will help us. I'm actually going to just show you 3 particular slides on the comprehensive roadmap itself. And as you can see, there are 2 scenarios that we are outlining. One is the business as usual, wherein we do what we traditionally do. But the other one is on the clean energy scenario. And this is what I'd like our audience to zero in. The biggest number that we are aiming to electrify is, at least in the short, later on the medium, and the long term, are our 2-wheelers. Just zero in on the numbers: 164,900 battery electric 2-wheelers between now and 2028 in our business as usual. In our more aggressive scenario, wherein both the public and private sector work together, we're aiming to do more than just that. Around close to 400,000 EVs. Zooming in on our medium-term targets, again, business as usual is around 300,000 pure battery electric tricycles, and then more aggressively in the medium term, close to 1,000,000 battery electric tricycles. And ultimately, the long-term goal is to bring in almost half or almost another 1,000,000 tricycles and 2-wheelers. But that's just the biggest portion of what we're doing. Battery charging station, or the swapping stations that will come in, is also part of that equation. And we are also pleased, based on our informal discussions, that with the innovations coming in, the technologies provided by Gogoro, we would have the ability to power our electric vehicles using renewable energy. So we just start here. The journey still continues. Again, we'd like to extend our full support to the Ayala Corporation, 917 Ventures, Globe, and Gogoro for bringing this innovation in our country's quest towards e-mobility. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Patrick. Really knowing about what Globe, Ayala, and 917 is doing is something that is inspiring for, I think, every Filipino, because it does take a village to put something like this together. And I'm sure our friends from the media have a ton of questions, because this is truly something that we've never seen before. So we will be opening the floor to questions later on. So ladies and gentlemen, we have all heard and learned more about Gogoro's battery swapping and smart scooter ecosystem, and how we can enable more Filipinos through more sustainable mobility alternatives. So we will have a roving microphone. And now the floor is open to your questions. We invite our friends from the media to share any of those queries. But of course, we'd like to invite back on stage Globe Group President and CEO, Mr. Ernest Koo. Director of Globe Capital Venture Holdings Incorporated, Mr. Bernie Nyangson. Gogoro founder and CEO, Mr. Horace Lu. And 917 Ventures Managing Director, Mr. Vince Yang. Once again, to our friends from the media, we will have a microphone for your questions. Okay, but you know what? I do have the first question here. This is from Comfy Manalo of the Daily Tribune. Sir Comfy, he's right over there. Okay.
Hi, good morning. I'm Coffee Madala from the Daily Tribune. This is the first venture of Globe into sustainable climate technology. So, question is, what are the features or unique features of Gogoro that that brought about this partnership? And can you give us more details about this partnership? Does it involve distribution of Gogoro or the infrastructure for battery swap or connectivity of smart technology? And for Mr. Ernest, who specific question for you. What is the advantage of telco that why Globe went into EVs? Thank you.
Well, thanks for the question. The two basic things for me that made Gogoro attractive in the Philippines, of course, number one is battery swapping. We all know that a lot of our riders in the Philippines, customers for two-wheelers, do not own their own homes. So how do you plug in your vehicle? How do you plug in your vehicle when you go into a fast food joint or go shopping and so on and so forth? When today we can't even plug in some of our phones or laptops, they stop us from doing it, right? So the most convenient way of doing it is using the swapping system, because you can always get a fresh battery when you encounter a swapping station, like we've seen this happen in Taiwan many times. And second is the smartness of the system. The system just basically relates to how Globe does business digitally, right? We can monitor a lot of the things going on with the bike through the battery, or even if we decide to put the bike online, which is possible as well. It is a very intelligent system. And once you have data about the riding habits of the consumer or the rider itself, there's many more things we can do with it. Just like we've done in GCash, where we use the data to power our lending business, which is now growing and becoming very successful. In the telco, we power the usage data as well to enable our marketing to be able to target the customers much better. So data is another one, being the smartness of the devices as well as the charging stations. So why does Globe have the unfair advantage? Globe is let's say, master at changing people's habits. We brought people the smartphone into this country back in 2010, 2012. Back then people said, I don't need a smartphone. My call and SMS phone really works well. But today, no one can live without their smartphone. And we brought streaming video into this country. Single-handedly eliminating video piracy in the country. And then followed that through with eliminating music piracy through Spotify. Netflix and Spotify were our launch partners for those two. So we've been changing the habits. The product that somebody told me, or many people told me they don't need, today has 80 million accounts, GCash. Right? When I was evangelizing GCash in its early days, people said, I don't need that. I have a credit card and I have cash. Today, people tell me, how could I have lived without GCash all these years? And how will I live without it if it goes down? So here we are again, right? Bringing another innovation to the public. Something today that they do not think they need yet. Yeah? Because they haven't experienced it yet. But one of the things that I like about this product, when I first saw it in 2015, because I'm not really an avid two-wheeler rider. I'm more into the four-wheel type of vehicles. But it was something I wanted to buy when I saw it. I didn't even need it, but to me, if it's that compelling, it must be good. All right, and so, with all the patience and everything in the world between Horace and myself, it's been an 8-year journey, 7.5 to be exact, getting here, but I'm just so glad we are here today. So that's really all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ernest Fu. And thank you also, Comfy, for the interview. We also do have another question from April Salazar of Manila Bulletin.
Hi, good morning. I'm April Salazar of Manila Bulletin. My question is for Mr. Horace. What factors influenced Gogoro's decision to enter the Philippine market, and what was the reason for partnering with the Ayala Corporation and Globe for this endeavor?
Great. Thank you for the question. There are a couple of fundamental reasons why we picked Philippines as our pilot market in the Southeast Asia area. The first one has to do with just, when I met Ernest, we fell in love because of the hairstyle. But also on top of that, he told me that the Filipino today commute almost 2 hours to and from work using public transportation because there's nothing better. They would, the Filipinos would actually get off work really late because they don't want to be stuck in traffic. And that the two-wheel solution has not been yet adopted. A lot of people say, when there's nobody wearing shoes in that country, in Africa, why go sell shoes in Africa? It's because I believe Globe can fundamentally influence and improve the lives of the Filipino using the infrastructure and the ecosystem that Globe has. That leads me to the second question, which is there's nobody around the world that I've seen execute to digitizing cities and for citizens better than Ernest and his team have done. I believe together we can form a great partnership to greatly influence and improve upon what the situation today with the commute, with the pollution, with the traffic congestion, and just the overall uneasiness of getting to one place to another. So I think it's really a condition of the fact that the Filipino doesn't have a solution today, and that we have a great partner working together to actually execute this. But last but not least, I really see Filipino government really taking a kind of today. This is a great momentum in which we see people going electrifying. And yes, 4 wheels for some, but 2-wheel can be for the masses. And so we are really excited to be here to help and work together with Globe to really realize the vision that perhaps has not been realized in the Philippines before.
Thank you, Horace. And thank you, April. Now we also have a question from Jopel Helenio. Go ahead, Jopel.
Yes, of PWIC. Good morning, sirs, and congratulations for this very wonderful and very successful launching of Gogoro smart scooters. And for Sir Vince Yamat, in your pilot for Globe employees, is there going to subsidies for those who opt to get the Gogoro smart scooters?
So the good news is it's going to be free for the Globe employee testers. So 70, okay, raise your hand. So there will be 70 employees, volunteer employees, will be able to test Gogoro for 2 months. For 2 months. So starting May, we're going to launch that program. Now, the objective really of a pilot test is for us to learn. And that's how we operate in Globe. We don't just launch a product and it's commercial. We always pilot and validate. Through this validation, we'll be able to learn a lot about the behavior and the experience of our employees and future customers. In fact, some of our employees started asking us, when is Gogoro going to be available, right, even for purchase? So we're excited for this pilot.
Thank you, Vince. 70 very lucky employees. Okay, another question from Cedric Francisco, right over here.
Hello, from Motoring Today. I just asked Sir Bernie, when will the Gogoro bikes be available to the public?
We're eagerly anticipating making it available to the public. So immediately after the pilot for the Globe employees and its ecosystem, we will go commercial within the 4th quarter of this year. Fundamental to that is making sure that we will be able to support all of our customers when we start commercial operations. We will make sure that we have deployed a good number, sufficient enough of GO stations so that our customers could go in very secure areas that are accessible to them 24/7, and it's within the normal daily routine of people so that you don't need to go out of your way just to find out where to stop your battery. So fourth quarter, here we come.
Fourth quarter. Exciting. Now we do have one from Sherry Yanino. Sherry. Hi, Miss Sherry. Let's just wait for the microphone to get to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So thank you again to Globe for having SMNI here. I'm Sherry po from SMNI. So my question po is for Sir Horace. What is the edge of Gogoro smart scooters over other e-bikes in the market? Thank you.
Great. So, there's a lot of advantages of going electric. But as Ernest just said, most of the Filipinos that actually would consider using a two-wheeler don't really own their home. And when it comes to the safety or the convenience of refueling, having a battery swapping system to support going electric, while the electric vehicle also has additional features such as digital security or digital safety, enable us to take leaps and bounds to offer better user experience, better safety, better security than any ICE vehicle can have. A lot of the customers today won't consider an ICE vehicle because one is very polluting, number two is very hot, number three is very noisy, and it's just overall not a great user experience. So for us, we're really focused on the great user experience of owning such a two-wheeler, and hopefully we can actually deliver that user experience and make a real big impact in everyday Filipinos' lives.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sherry, and thank you, Horace. Okay, we're down to our last question. Go ahead.
Hello, I'm Princess Jordan from IBC News. Since the Gogoro are now here in the Philippines and then we are now going to do the pilot testing, how much does Gogoro e-vehicles cost?
It's great. So the Gogoro e-vehicle, and I'll answer that with Bernie together. Of course, with the current great electric policy of importing batteries and stations, that it is actually duty-free to electrify the Philippines. We're working together on the two-wheeler to bring the two-wheeler into this market in a wide portfolio of ranges of pricing. So of course, if you want more performance, you're going to have to pay more. If you want less performance and easier, more lightweight vehicle, you can pay less. So we have a price range to satisfy, I believe, all Filipinos. And so it's not a single vehicle that we're talking about, it's a portfolio vehicle that we're talking about. Similar to a feature phone or your smartphone, you'll have different size of storage, speed, screen size, same thing. Same a variety so that our consumers can choose the one that's best for them.
So can you give us numbers or how much will this further cost? So we just have an idea, sir.
I think it's going to be amazingly affordable. How about that?
Okay, thank you so much. That would be great for all the Filipinos.
Okay, surprise, right? Okay, we do have last two questions. I believe this is from somebody from Lifestyle Journal. Oh, right, over there.
Hi, good morning. It's James Umaro from Tech and Lifestyle Journal. I have two questions. Number one, can you tell us more about the carbon emission and how friendly Gogoro is to the environment? Number two, can you tell us something about the cost efficiency or the energy efficiency of this?
Great. I'll take the emission side, and then I think the cost will also give a rough, direction. In Taiwan, for example, we have actually two different energy sources. We have the traditional coal and fossil fuel generated energy, which is about 70%, 80% of what Taiwan energy is today. And then we have the more sustainable generation of energy. But even if you count with that much coal and fossil and natural gas generating energy, there is of course transmission loss and other that goes all the way to the station. Our vehicles still emit a little bit, of CO2. If you compare to where we are today, we're about 5% of what an ICE vehicle would do. So we save 95% of the CO2 from emitting into the air. But of course, we try to strive our best to take advantage of sustainable energy as much as we can. So today in Taiwan, we have, for example, several stations that is supplemented with solar power. We have also a retail store along with several stations at the retail store that is 100% subscribed to sustainable energy. Now, of course, with Ayala's investment into solar energy and sustainable energy being the largest in the region, we look forward to the day that we can actually raise our hand and Ernest and I can stand up and say, that station is using nothing but sustainable energy. That would be the ultimate goal. Now, when it comes to the ownership of swapping, Taiwan gas price, on average, even with the big saturation and success within Taiwan, the gas price in Taiwan, on average per liter, is about 85 cents to 90 cents US dollar per liter. In the Philippines, it's $1.30 or so, $1.35 per liter. So we believe we can make a great contribution to actually not only providing a better solution, but overall a more affordable, a solution that actually makes sense, including not only the fueling, the refueling, but also the ease of the time you save, as well as the fact that it doesn't require much maintenance because it's an electric vehicle. All of that adds up to be a great user experience. That's the direction we're all working toward.
Thank you, Horace. I did see a gentleman raising his hand right there. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, thank you. Miguel here from Tech in Asia. First and foremost, I think the vision is very exciting. So thank you so much for communicating that so well today. I think my main question really is, and it's a general one, anyone can take it. You talked a lot about shifting behaviors and habits, which I think is an important part of this journey. And just wanted to ask if you could share a bit of insight or hypotheses rather as to maybe the differences between the behaviors in the Philippine market versus the Taiwan market, for example. Maybe a hypothesis that you're bringing into the pilot at this point.
I can take it first crack. Yeah, how about that? I think on the overall the usage behavior in Taiwan, for 22 million in population, there's 14 million vehicles on the road that are two-wheelers. If you take out the old people and take out the young people, everybody has a two-wheeler. And that's a market that has its challenges when it comes to conversion. It's a conversion market. Whereas if you look at the Philippines, has 11 million vehicles that are on the road added over the last 10 years or so, for a population of slightly over 100 million people. So 1/10 penetration. So I see it as a frontier market. A market that if we can actually do a great job, like I said, every vehicle that's placed on the road, to me, is a 10 years worth of pollution. And vehicle pollution only gets worse. It doesn't get better. The performance of the vehicle doesn't get better. The cleanliness of the vehicle doesn't get better because it's just, the tolerance in the gap in the valves, everything adds up, and then, basically it emits more emission. With the Gogoro vehicle, it's different. The first battery that we actually shipped when Ernest first visited me, each battery was about 1 kilowatt hour. Through several generations of upgrade, our vehicle today can enjoy the new battery that is 1.7 kilowatt hour. A great 70% improvement. But the person never had to actually change their vehicle. The vehicle just got upgraded. Same with other features, such as the rain mode that I talked about. Every vehicle since the very first vehicle that was sold, all got upgraded in safety feature along the way. So the person that actually bought the vehicle in 2015 continued to enjoy performance and also feature upgrade that actually enabled them to say, this is a smart vehicle. And that's why we call it a smart vehicle, because it gets smarter along the way. So when we first shipped the first vehicle, it did not have security unlock that's tied to your phone or your watch. It did not have, rain mode. It did not have traction control and other features. Today, the vehicle, some of our customers choose and upgrade the vehicle and they get better and better. And so we believe that we can actually bring that type of experience to the Philippines. It's really a market that you can actually make it, and with a great partnership with Globe and with Ayala, we believe we can actually make this market, and we can stop these install of ICE vehicle from continuing to the country.
I just want to add, I mean, the key to shifting a habit will be user experience. Right? It has to be a better user experience than you have today. Right? When we brought the smartphone, it brought about so much to the Filipino life than your previous, basic phone or feature phone. Right? You had access to the world through the internet. You had your entertainment, and today you even have your wallet on your phone. When we brought GCash to market, it was all about again improving on the experience with cash and credit card. Right? You could apply instantly. You could pay anyone instantly. When you lost your phone, you didn't lose your money. Security. And today, even that is continuing to be enhanced. You can borrow money. You can invest in stocks. You can invest in crypto or buy NFTs. You can buy insurance and many, many more through our G Life platform. When we introduced Consulta MD, it was again improving the insurance, or the customer experience. You don't have to wait in the doctor's office. Most of the time, you don't have to wait for an appointment. And you can get instant medical care no matter where you are in the Philippines. Same with the Gogoro. Right? Think about the consumer experience that you had when the pandemic came about and there was no pollution in the air. That's the promise and the vision. And we speak a lot about air pollution. We don't speak about noise pollution. The noise on those motorcycles today, a 90cc bike, they put an open muffler. What happens to your lifestyle at home? Your experience at home? It's noise, right? I live by JP Rizal. It's very noisy street because of all the jeepneys and the noisy tricycles that glide around. Right? So it's all about that. So we're going to create this wonderful user experience from acquiring the bike to charging to payments, because Globe has a lot of that ecosystem pre-built. And that, I think, will be the overriding factor and why you would want to switch to this type of vehicle in the future.
Can I add?
Go ahead, Sir Bernie.
So it's new. It's pretty new. EVs for 2 wheels. And we're not going into it blindly. It's the reason why we're going into a pilot before we actually get into commercial operations to basically understand a lot better what is the customer behavior and what is that experience we need to put together to make sure it's outstanding. So there'll be a lot of efforts just on the education part. Selling it is not our first and foremost intention from the get-go. It's getting people to understand why EV versus the internal combustion engine vehicle. And when you say EV, people generally equate EVs to plug-ins. So why battery swap versus plug-ins? And I think we have all of the assets and the rationale to make sure that the experience is exactly differentiated versus the other types of EVs, and most especially the internal combustion engine vehicles.
Thank you, Mr. Bernie. And thank you as well. We do have room for one last question.
Hi, good morning. I'm Eli from eLifestyle Manila. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate you on the launch. It's another first from Ayala, Globe, 917, Gogoro. My question is, since you already have the products forecast for Q4, would you be able to have a pre-order for this one? How many units? And we have a banking facility already.
When we start, just before we start the actual commercial operations, yeah, we do pre-orders similar to what we do with the smartphones, with the launch of the smartphones that we've done. We do pre-orders, and we will do the same when we do.
Sir, how many units do you have?
I think he's very interested in signing up already.
Sign up so we will bring in all of the scooters that we need to serve that particular demand.
Lastly, to cut the ride anxiety for EV, how many charging swapping stations will you be launching at Q4 for the probably NCR area?
Our the first stations that we have initially covers the immediate central business districts. That's about 7. We will expand to cover the entire of Metro Manila in numbers that are sufficient to serve all of the customers that we will acquire by the end of the year.
Sir, last, will there be colors like Vespa?
Definitely. Enjoy the colors.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so you can sign up, right? Just kidding. But we do appreciate the enthusiasm of our friends from the media, but that's all the time we have for questions right now. But we want to, of course, thank our leaders. Let's give them a round of applause. But before we let you go, let's have another photo. Stand up for another photo. Thank you very much. Thank you to all our leaders, Sir Horace, Sir Vince, Sir Bernie, and Sir Ernest. But we had quite a fantastic morning as we got our first glimpse into the future of mobility, and hearing the support of all our partners and parties involved really makes us so hopeful and excited on just how much this can help improve the lives of the Filipino people and make a positive impact on our environment. So now to share with us as a final wrap up, we'd like to give the floor to the President and CEO of the Globe Group, Mr. Ernest Koo.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for the support today. It's wonderful to see everybody up here. We got members from the Ayala Group with Jaza showing up and helping us launch this fantastic product for us. And the whole Gogoro team, Becky, fantastic for the support you've given us all through these years. It's a 7.5-year journey, my friend, and we're finally here. And of course, the government. Without government, this is a very important part. The incentives they're going to be providing us are already there today. We really do hope that the two-wheel importation on taxes will also be included in the near future, and something that we will see very, very shortly. I also want to thank the media for supporting us today, and also for helping me make my speech shorter with your wonderful questions, because I've already answered and said what I wanted to say. But really, this is a manifestation of a lot of what Globe has been doing over the past couple of years. Ever since we reached market leadership in telco in 2016, we've endeavored to be a purpose-driven company, one that aims to uplift the daily lives of the Filipinos. We started with GCash, and again, none of this took overnight or in 1 year or 2 years. GCash was a 15-year journey to get here, with scale happening beginning 2016. Consulta MD, which aims to solve the problem of healthcare access to the Filipino, has been around for 7 years, and now we're scaling it. The vision and the thought about electric vehicles came into my mind, as Laura said, 7.5 years ago. It kind of accelerated when I first used an electric car in the US about a year ago. My first experience with a Tesla. And I said, oh my God, it changed my view that this thing really worked, right? It's much more convenient, it was smart. I hate to use that word because it's a competitor's name, but it was intelligent. Smart vehicle. But, it really does work. And once you go into a smart EV vehicle, it's very difficult to go back, right? Into, using back to an ICE unconnected vehicle. The intelligence that these vehicles have, as Forrest mentioned, it knows when it's raining, and it'll fine-tune the drive control to be able to help you with speeding and so on. There's many, many things. And I can assure you that customer experience will be much better. And of course, it also ties in with Globe's sustainability efforts. With the guidance of Ayala, as you can tell, we've always wanted and we've committed now to bring and use technology and digital to bring about more sustainable type of operations here in the Philippines. More effective, more efficient transportation is very key. You can see the pollution that has been happening in this country. You can see the difference between holidays and not. The difference between the pandemic, when we saw clear skies, we actually saw mountains and stars, didn't we? Right, during that time. And today, we hope that with these scooters, with the batteries, with the smart technology, we'll be able to help Globe, come to zero emissions like we've committed by the year 2050. Right? So with that, I'd like to close out and saying once again, thank you very much. I see the enthusiasm. And if this is any gauge of the kind of reception we'll get from the market, I think we've stumbled upon a fantastic product, and we'll make sure that we launch it properly, we launch it affordably, and we launch it with the best user experience possible. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sir Ernest. We in the Filipino people have a lot to look forward to with everything that was just talked about today. And right now, our friends in the media who have a blue wrist tag, once again, if you do have a blue wrist tag, please join us at lane Q of the Globe Tower. Once again, you need to have a blue wrist tag to be able to access the lane Q of the Globe Tower, where we will have the official ribbon cutting and get to see a demo of Gogoro smart scooters and the battery swapping in action. Once again, if you have a blue wrist tag, please proceed to lane Q of the Globe Tower for the ribbon cutting and for the Gogoro Smart Scooter demo and battery swapping station in action. Okay, please make your way.
In an interconnected world, a shared past, present, and future. Connected by a series of ties, strengthened by love, for better or for worse. The need to adapt when there is change, to support one another, to bring kindness where there is pain. The need of loving kindness, of interconnection. The future you used to chase, the future you used to want. Now, you're living it. This is Jabber. Reconnect, adapt, and evolve. Jabber Motorcom. Make rides more fun. We live in an interconnected world. A shared past, present, and future. Connected by a series of ties, strengthened by love, for better or for worse. The need to adapt when there is change, to support one another, to bring kindness where there is pain. The need of loving kindness, of interconnection. The future you used to chase, the future you used to want. Now, you're living it. This is Jabber. Reconnect, adapt, and evolve. Jabber Motorcom. Make rides more fun. We live in an interconnected world. A shared past, present, and future. Connected by a series of ties, strengthened by love, for better or for worse. The need to adapt when there is change, to support one another, to bring kindness where there is pain. The need of loving kindness, of interconnection. The future you used to chase, the future you used to want. Now, you're living it. This is Jabber. Reconnect, adapt, and evolve. Jabber Motorcom. Make rides more fun. We live in an interconnected world. A shared past, present, and future. Connected by a series of ties, strengthened by love, for better or for worse. The need to adapt when there is change, to support one another, to bring kindness where there is pain. The need of loving kindness, of interconnection. The future you used to chase, the future you used to want. Now, you're living it. This is Jabber. Reconnect, adapt, and evolve. Jabber Motorcom. Make rides more fun. We live in an interconnected world. A shared past, present, and future. Connected by a series of ties. Strengthened by love. For better or for worse. The need to adapt when there is change. To support one another. To bring kindness where there is pain. The need of loving colors, of interconnection. The future you used to chase. The future you used to know. Now, you're living it. This is Jabber. Reconnect, adapt, and evolve. Jabber Motorcom. Make rides more fun. We live in an interconnected world. A shared past, present, and future. Connected by a series of ties. Strengthened by love. For better or for worse. The need to adapt when there.
We now have on stage Globe CEO, Mr. Ernest Kuhn, Globe Capital Venture Holdings Corporated Director, Mr. Bernie Dianzon, Gogoro Founder and CEO, Mr. Horace Luke, and 917 Ventures Managing Director, Mr. Vince Yama. And you may have your photo opportunities with them before we begin with our ribbon cutting. We would also like to request Director Patrick Aquino to join us for the ribbon cutting ceremony. Thank you. And here is to ushering in a new era of mobility in the Philippines. It's time to cut the ribbon. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And at this point, you'd like to request Mr. Ernest Kuhn and Mr. Horace Luke to demonstrate Gogoro's battery swapping technology. this point, Mr. Ernest Kuhn, Mr. Horace Luke will take the Gogoro Smart Scooters for a quick spin around the Globe Tower driveway. We invite the media here to proceed to the driveway.
We live in an interconnected world, a shared past, present, and future, connected by a series of ties, strengthened by love, for better or for worse. The need to adapt when there is change, to support one another, to bring kindness where
And this concludes the launch of Gogoro Smart Scooters and Go Stations in the Philippines. Thank you once again to our executives, friends of the media, partners, and guests for joining us. Please feel free to take photos of our Gogoro Smart Scooters and battery swapping stations on Lane View. We would also like to invite the media and our guests to our main event hall in basement 1 for a simple lunch. Also, we have tokens for the media which can be claimed at the alcove beside the grand staircase. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of the day.
us because I heard it, but I was skipping faster. That's
Don't stop.
We live in an interconnected world, a shared past, present, and future, connected by a series of ties, strengthened by love, for better or for worse. The need to adapt when there is change, to support one another.